How do you decide what appears in your gallery, Dede?
So galleries, you have a program, that's what it's, the terminology in the gallery world, and my program tends to be a little more contemporary, abstract, not a lot of representational work. I do show 2D and 3D, 2D being flat paintings, photography, 3D being sculpture.
I guess I'm curious, does an artist usually say, hey Dede, I don't want to be hung in your gallery? Or do you approach the artist and say, I like your work, I want to feature you in my gallery?
I do it both ways. I accept submissions from artists, and I also go out and look for work. An interesting thing about the submission process, I have those guidelines on my website. Not only am I interested in seeing what the artist sends me, but it's the professional appearance of their packet. That's a little bit of a trick. A lot of artists don't know that, but it's how I can determine if the artist is going to be difficult to work with or professional. I require a high level of professionalism from my artists, so they need to have a consistent body of work, continue to make that work, continue to seek shows in other parts of the state, country, world, and to also be able to speak and write about their work. I think that's very important because a lot of people do like to purchase pieces that are just pretty, but they also want to know what they mean. And patrons really like a personal connection with the artist, so that's important to be able to talk about it and read statements from artists. I love going and looking at work. I think luckily Fayetteville has a lot of artists, so I'm able to go and do some studio visits in the region. I also do it in other parts of the country when I travel, and it's a lot of fun speaking with artists all over.
Can you give me an example of a package that was submitted to you that made you go, yikes?
Actually, most of the packages I receive are good.
Or a funny package that you got?
I have not. It's really when people walk in off the street with a trunk full of paintings. That's not the way to approach a gallery. I would say almost immediately I would not do business with that artist. But most packages are really beautifully presented with a CD and stationery and an envelope.
So production values matter when you're approaching a gallery.
Does matter. It is your first impression to the gallery owner. It's really important. Grammar, spelling, cleanliness, organization, proper labeling of images. There should be an image sheet that corresponds to the CD. Put in your name on the CD, phone number, all the appropriate contact information. Return envelope if you want it returned, but a lot of people don't really, it doesn't matter anymore since slides are not being sent, it's CDs mostly.
So digital submissions are sort of the rule of thumb now.
Yes, and to make sure your CD actually works is pretty important, and that it can be opened on any platform, either PC or Mac.